Hello and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 frames per second. I'm JayJay. I'm playing Drew today, and with me I have the lovely, wonderful, awesome, funny.
I would ask you to put down the mirror. Hello.
Why does
I'm
everyone do this to
you.
me?
You started it. I don't know what to tell you, man. I point
I'll
at you.
just put
You
on my
started
funny little
this.
clown nose.
Uh-huh. And then I'll put on your funny little clown hat and your shoes. Um,
Anyway, who are
they count.
you?
That's a good question. I was gonna say that. I'm Dew. I'm Dew Point. I am playing a pretty pecked up bird, Lao Vis-Blind. Um, he's had a bit of a time.
That's one
Um,
way of putting it. I guess I should
yeah,
I guess I should preface that this is called Memory Files Not Found, and this takes place like a day or so after Two Truths and a Lie. So if you're confused, you might want to go listen to that first. Uh,
yeah. Mind the content warnings too,
yeah,
because near
yeah,
the end that takes up.
yeah, by a lot. And speaking of content warnings, I am expecting this to not be that bad. But also, I do not control said pecked up bird, so I don't know what's gonna
I
happen.
I do a shrug. I don't know what he's planning. I don't know what's going on with Lao at the minute. He hasn't told me.
So, I am going to be putting the content warnings in the description of the video. Uh, I put them in the announcement because I'm not sure. So those are there just in case. But
Edit them in
anyway,
YouTube if we need to.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, we should probably actually start the FPS, and we are going to be doing that by Lao. You hear a knock on the door of your apartment flat. What do you do?
Oh, well, I was going to be doing fuck all because guess what? I rolled earlier
I
for
saw
Lao's
that.
levels of exhaustion. He has
Bro!
5 levels of exhaustion. He has no
Bro!
movement speed. If this is just a day after, um, yeah, no, he is not moving.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
but I will say if Drew goes up to the door and knocks on it, the door will just kind of you hear like a click and it just swings open a little bit.
Works for
Just how that
me.
is for you.
Um, they will very cautiously enter because the last time that they showed up and the door just kind of opened, bad stuff happened. So, um, I will also preface this by saying that Chifley is in fact somewhere in this apartment asleep because we have been told by Wiz that he is not leaving Lau's apartment for a while because of everything that happened. But because Wiz is not physically here in this FPS, Chipley is sleeping somewhere.
Tifley is somewhere else.
He's
Maybe
here, but
he's
he's
on the
not.
yeah.
So, before anyone
So
asks
yeah,
me where he is, that is the answer.
points
um,
vaguely in another direction.
yeah. I guess I will start by rolling a perception to see if I can
Ooh.
find Lao. I gotta remember how this dice bot works. There we
uh,
go. That is a
oh,
19. Drew can
it's
see
cool.
today.
Okay, cool. Well, with a 19, you definitely yeah, you definitely know that he's in the living room, still lying across the sofa. Um, the bush sofa thing that seems to be growing out of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you will also notice that I don't remember if you noticed this or if someone else did last time, but you walk in and there's light coming in from like a kitchen window and the living room fucking glass wall window. But for some reason it feels, even though it doesn't look dark, the whole flat feels dark. That makes sense. It feels darker than the light should perhaps. Despite the light, it feels dark.
I will say that it for sure was not me that noticed that during the game, because that would have been at the beginning of the game where my dice were bullying me for no reason. So
Fair
it
enough.
was somebody else, but it wasn't me.
Fair enough. I bet you.
I guess Drew will very cautiously. They're not trying to be noisy, but they don't know if he's asleep. So, but they will walk over and around the couch to look at him.
Okay. You see, he seems to be propped up on a pillow at the moment. That wasn't there before, and the blanket that used to cover his lap yesterday seems to have been swapped out with a different one that is covered in like little like spider patternings, like it's like little spider webs all interconnected to each other, and there's like little spiders on the center of each web. That's his new blanket that's covering his bottom half. He's kind of propped up and he's squinting down at a notebook in his hand. And with a 19, you can see that his hand is shaking as he seems to be trying to write something in this notebook with his finger. Actually, I should probably roll to see if he does.
I will ask, is he like sat on the couch like normally, or is he like half laying on the couch?
He's mostly laying. He's propped up by just like one or two pillows.
You were gonna roll for something?
Sure. It's his perception. Is your perception? But yeah, no. Okay, so that is.
Oof. Oh, buddy.
He is not paying any attention. He is very focused on what he's doing.
Remind me, there is a coffee table beside this couch, right?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Drew's gonna kind of like bend over a little and just on the coffee table.
Let me roll something. Okay, that's good. You put something on the coffee table and you see one of the curls on the back of his head just kind of twitches a little, and he kind of mutters something, but it's quite slurred. It's kind of hard to understand.
After like another beat, Drew will just. That's a scary thing to see.
Sorry about it.
Drew will just Lao.
Drew, all you get back is a sort of an absent-minded hum. He doesn't look at you and he just keeps writing in his notebook. Do you notice he's not using like any utensils? He's using his finger literally to write in this notebook.
I'm gonna roll a d2 to see if Drew's gonna be an asshole or not.
Encourage everyone to be an arsehole to Lao.
Okay, not yet. Drew kind of like waves their hand, like not between Lao and the notebook, but just like near Lao's face, and just, I'm not a dream, you know. You could at least look up from your book.
Surprisingly, as you say that, Lao pauses in his writing, and his head does snap to look towards you, and his eyes have dilated to be like very large as he's looking at you. Then he kind of stares at you for a couple seconds, blinks, and his eyes kind of recede back, and he just shakes his head, just Drew, when did you get here? He looks a little confused.
Like a minute or so ago, the door was open.
Right, yes, of course. And he kind of looks around, um, and his eyes kind of narrow. It's just, well, I'd offer to, I'd offer to get you something, but moment I don't seem to be able to do so, and I'm not quite sure where Soul's gotten off to. They're not. Uh, they might just be upstairs or some such.
It's
Just
it's fine. Don't worry about it. How are you?
he gives you a very blank look. And he looks down at where he is, laying propped up on a couple of
Yeah,
pillows. So he looks back up to you. Um, let me roll this save.
I can like
It's fine. Good.
feel the like sarcastic comment coming from a mile away.
Hey, he doesn't say it. He did very, very well, and he doesn't say it.
I'm proud of him on his self-restraint.
Yes. So he does give you a look. He takes a deep breath and says, well, all things considered, I'm not dead. So there's that.
Could I roll like an insight just to see if Drew can pick up on his self-restraint?
Go ahead.
I'm hoping they
Must-
do because I have a comment ready. Like,
Yes. Load your
but
gun.
I need them to pick up on it. God damn it. That's a 10. So that's up to you.
Oh, damn it. I forgot I was supposed to be rolling things at disadvantage. I'm a fool.
That's fine. Thank you for the F. I needed that. I'm gonna assume that Drew kind of gets it, but like not really. But just I wouldn't have come over here to check up on you if I wasn't worried about it.
Ow. He goes to open his mouth and then closes it and just another slow nod. Yes, I appreciate the concern, Drew. I I appreciate the concern. It's being handled. But thank you. And he's gonna look. He's gonna kind of put his head to the side, and two of the curls in the back of his head are gonna twitch a little. And what about you, Drew?
I mean, I'm not hurt, so there's that.
Lao's beak is just gonna twitch up a little bit, and his outline is gonna very, very gently fade a little lighter. And I would like to say, as you're looking at him, whilst most of his outline has been redone, it doesn't, it doesn't exactly look the same as before. Like there's bits that clearly look like it looks like like a 2 or a 3 year old picked up a crayon for the first time. Kind of
It's
filled out.
very like crooked and like
Yeah.
not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Drew will like put their hands up in defense. Like I've been a lot worse.
know you're probably saying that to make me feel better, Drew, but somehow that doesn't. Kind of blinks a couple times, looks over at the chair, and then looks over at you and says, did you want to, any kind of gestures at the armchair?
Drew will just go ahead and sit down. Yeah. They sort of let the silence hang in the air for a minute, and then I also kind of wanted to ask what you wanted to do moving forward.
Issue a couple of blank inks. And he does slowly close the notebook in his hand and settle it on his lap, and he just folds his hands together. I'm going to need you to elaborate exactly what you mean when you say do.
In regards to the last offer you were given,
What about it?
well, that's up to you. Do you want that? Is there a way to help you get that? Do you want us to help you?
So I did roll twice. So from now on, I'm just going to post. Actually, I probably should post the 2 rolls I make, but from now on, I'll post the 2 rolls I make.
Okay.
I rolled a deception.
I see that.
An 18, and then he got a nat 1.
And since it's a disadvantage, you have to take the nat
1. So as you
Rip birdbrain.
say, is that something you? That's something you. Sorry, could you repeat what you just said?
It was something along the lines of, is that something you want? Is that something we can help with? Do you want us to help with it? Something like that.
Well, you immediately see Lao's outline kind of quiver, and his face shutters, and he kind of, like, it's clear to see he just kind of shuts down. All his emotional walls have gone up. And the hands that were kind of clapped together now lace their fingers together, and he's just, whilst I appreciate your concern, Drew, there's nothing really to discuss there.
Why do you say that?
Done. Because it's done and over with, and that's that.
Why do you think that if it's something you want, why do you think that it's over with?
Al's outline starts to shake again. You see it start to get a little pointed at parts. It's done because there's nothing that can be done. And that's that. It's pretty obvious. He doesn't want to talk about this.
Yeah, I picked up on that a little bit.
A little.
I think Drew will just let it sit for a moment, and then do you want to forget it though?
You say that, you see, like, the spike where his outline had gone spiky. The tips of those spikes have started to smudge a bit more, and that smudge starts to seep down the liner as he just kind of... He's looking at you, Drew, but he's kind of also looking through you a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm really sorry, could you repeat what you said? My brain just forgot.
It was something along the lines of... It was either do you want to forget it or do you want to remember it? I don't remember what I actually
want to
said.
remember. There you go. You want to remember.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's looking through you. Did you say, do you want to remember? That sort of feeling isn't this sort of thing. I'm not sure this is entirely appropriate to discuss with you, Drew. Whilst I appreciate what you and Austin and Chifley and others have done, this isn't your fight. You're my employee, and I'm not... It would not be appropriate for me to... It would not be appropriate for me to ask you to assist me with this. So whilst I appreciate your concern, rest assured I will handle this on my own terms.
Internally, don't think Drew didn't clock the fact that he didn't say Carminia's name, but they'll unpack that can of worms later. Whilst I may be your employee, and Chifley and Austin and Carminia might be your friends, I do believe we've kind of inserted ourselves into the situation regardless.
So I rolled a deception again. I got another nat 1. The minute you say the name Carminia, Lao's whole outline just shivers and he flinches.
We've inserted ourselves into this situation. It's not just your fight anymore. On top of that, I'm not really sure I should be considered an employee anymore, considering I have not been paid. But the farm is still intact.
Oh, when you mention you haven't been paid, Lao kind of stops. Then he puts his head up a little bit and kind of squints at the ceiling. His eyes widen and his whole outline goes just a little bit smudgier, and he lifts both his hands to his face and just... Oh, I haven't paid you, have I?
Not in a long time.
Shit. Very empathetically swears to himself. This is where I make a hammer space roll. Oh, I'm gonna see him drag both of his hands down his face. He sighs and he says, I don't think I can apologize enough for... Oh, fuck, how long has it been since... And he seems to be, like, trying to do a bit of mental maths, just how long has it been since your last payment? And he reaches underneath his blanket, and he pulls out a very, very heavy-looking coin purse.
Hold on.
He opens up the drawstrings, and he starts to... You hear the clinking of coins as he sort of mentally like he seems to be like touching an abacus in the air, kind of squinting. He's trying to figure out how much money he needs to give you.
So I made a roll.
What the fuck was that?
It was deception.
Ooh.
I don't know what I expected for the audio. That's a 4 on deception from Drew because they were gonna try to lie about it, about how long it's been. I think as Lao's digging through his coin purse and doing mental math in the air with his imaginary abacus. It's just like it hasn't been that long. It's fine. You can tell that it's bullshit, and it has been a couple months.
God. Now, holding up his coin purse, shut up and take my money. But yeah, Lao, you can see Lao is ignoring you, and he's just kind of clink, 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 clinking coins out, and he's putting them on. He's kind of leaning over, putting them onto little stacks on the coffee table, and they're probably like a stack for each week that you've been missing, or that he's been missing, and he kind of pushes that over to you and says, I don't know if you need any back pay or anything in terms of I don't know how you've I don't know. He's
It's fine. This is fine. This is already
Drew.
a lot.
No, it's Drew. Drew, I don't know how long I've been gone, and I don't know how long you've been without pay. I'm not...
You can roll insight.
Cool, yeah, let's do that with my heavy disadvantage. Let's go, baby. Well, the lowest he got was a 12, so... What's your insight, anyway? Knowing the stats of my characters? Heaven forbid.
I only know Drew's insight modifier. Anyway, so that's an 18. You say that you don't know how long Drew's gone without pay, and they kind of make a face, and you kind of get the feeling that they've been, one, keeping up with their work on the farm and making sure that it doesn't fall apart, and two, have been picking up odd jobs to cover the pay. So essentially, they've been working double.
Cool. Lao, as he pushes over the coins, he kind of looks up, looks at Drew, and pauses.
Drew's not looking at you.
He slowly pulls his hands away from the stack of gold coins and laces his fingers and props his chin on the top. Squints at Drew.
Drew's not looking at you.
Well, that's fine. If Drew's not looking, Drew's gonna hear a so you asked me what I'm going to do going forward, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is you are going to take, I believe it's called annual leave with pay. Don't worry about the farm. I will sort that out. I'll find someone to take over your duties whilst you are not working there. And rest assured, you will be paid for the days that you aren't working. But you are you're taking time off.
With all due respect, you are not doing or looking for anybody or anything until you feel well enough to. Or at least until Chipley thinks you feel well enough to. I know a thing or two about overworking yourself and lying about it.
That Lao kind of twitches and then glares a bit harder at you. Oh yes, and I wonder why that would be.
Let's just call it personal experience.
Lao rolls his eyes, gestures at the gold. Drew, don't argue with me about this. Just take your gold and take at least a couple of weeks.
I will, once you're well enough to find someone else. Look, Soul's back. I'm not expecting the farm to stay in one piece much longer.
That Lao kind of he kind of how do I put this? His beak does a little wriggle, and his outline goes from less smudged to more spiky now. But he yes, well, rest assured, Soul won't be causing any trouble at the farm anytime soon, considering they don't think they've really gone anywhere since, but again, it has only been a day. We've don't like to go too far, apparently.
Drew kind of nods at that. Whenever Chipley says that you're alright, then you can look for someone, and then I'll take the break. But don't worry about the farm until then. Deal?
Do you want to roll insight?
Sure. God damn it. Drew, you're supposed to be good at this.
Roll again. Do you want to roll again?
I can.
Let's see. Let's wait another chance. There you go.
That's a lot better.
A lot better.
Went from a 9 to a 26.
Oh man. I've just noticed that my recording hasn't been picking my voice up, so that's fun.
Okay, mine is still working. We're good. I also don't know
Good.
if Wick is recording. I didn't ask.
It's fine.
It's
Even
fine.
if
My
they are
recording's fine at the moment. It's not broken.
Good. There might just be a voice difference or volume difference between us. Anyway, with the 26 on the insight, you can tell when you start saying when Chipley tells me you're okay to do stuff. There is a very his outline does get spikier, and his arms. So he just his whole demeanor just basically tells you, Chipley's not the boss of me. I'm fully capable of knowing my limits. Thank you very much. He's being a stubborn ass.
Yeah, I'm used to that. Drew just butts in with, I'm fully aware that you can take care of yourself. I know from experience you can take care of yourself. But again, I know a thing or two about overworking yourself and lying about it. And I know that you and I both do it. Because trust me, I didn't get away with working 2 jobs very long with a certain roommate of mine. So, until Chipley says that you're fine, you will do nothing. Regardless of whether or not you like that.
Lao has gone from looking away from you with a huff to glaring at you once again.
Drew just has this smug ass grin on their face.
he doesn't. I don't like this.
I don't like lots of things.
And I'm not doing this because you told me not to. But fine. Whenever we find someone who's able to take over your duties, you take your leave, but you're taking the gold now.
I'm okay with that. Animus is coming. I need parts.
Can I roll an insight on that?
I mean, you can, yeah.
Boy. Oh boy. Can I get lower? Can I get lower? No. I mean, that's a me and my brain. That's a whole 9, Lao.
I mean, I will let you roll again.
He's exhausted. Like he has exhaustion.
I know, and I know that's why, but I'm trying to be nice.
Okay, I will roll again. Fuck. Fuck. Well.
Okay.
It's an 11.
Okay, that's slightly better. I don't know what you're trying to get.
He's inciting the parts, like kind of squinting at that. He's trying to see, wait, is there some like is Drew in any sort of
No. Okay. So it is an 11, but it's also like it's not like a secret. Well, it's a secret because it's Animus gifts, but you can tell that Drew at least looks physically fine. And you also get the inkling that the parts that they quote unquote need are not for them, they are for something else.
Okay. It's fine.
You can ask about it, but
no, Lao's not going to ask about it because he's kind of a jerk. And also, so long as it's not pertaining to Drew's health or his need for actual body parts for him to function.
it is not.
Yeah, no, he's going to leave it at that. Just going to kind of nod. And, so, well...
That's not a can of worms Lao wants to open right now.
No, we can do that later. No, it's just like there's the briefest flash of the blueprints that go through his head. He's like, what part doesn't look right? What? Hang on, I've studied these things backwards and forwards. What part needs replacing?
Oh, worm? Yes. I already forgot what I said that prompted that comment.
You're getting parts like Lao was offering gold. He's saying
I meant the old worm comment.
Worm. It's a can of worms.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, so Drew will say that and very carefully scoop up the gold and put it in their hammer space.
Do you want to roll me a quick perception?
I can. Oops, my caps lock was still on. My bad. There we go.
Yeah, Drew, as you scoop up the gold and put it into your hammer space, you realize that the amount that's there is far more than the amount that covers the months you've been without pay. By a fucking lot. Like, this is...
Drew will find a way to fix that can of worms later. Because in Drew's mind, they're like, this is too much, and I am not going to take all of it. But they know that if they try to either leave it here just like on the table in the first place, or try to like sleight of hand or any of that crap to leave it in this flat, they're gonna get yelled at, and they know that, so they'll worry about that later.
Fine, just think of it as animus extra pay.
Not a can of worms that they want to deal with right now. But
Put a can of worms under the sofa. Let them ripen.
I can't believe Lau's house is full of worms now.
Mean. I gesture at the rooftop. He
what
has
just happened to me?
Is that
I
fucking
believe
fumbled?
it. I fucking fumbled. Holy shit.
Fumble. Hell yeah.
I can't remember the last time Drew fumbled a 9. What even is a 9? Oh, cool. So, while Drew is putting all the gold and crap in their hammer space, they start digging around, and at first they pull out what looks like a little plastic baggie of like plastic green stars, and they sort of look at it and squint and just shake their head and reach back again. Okay, that's a 7. That's not another fumble. We're fine. So they put the stars back into their hammer space, and then pull out one of their many copies of their signature hat.
Okay. Lau looks at the hat and then looks at Drew and looks at the hat, and he's not saying anything.
Can I roll insight on him?
Yeah, go ahead. You can tell he is clearly a little confused.
I love having an insight modifier and actually getting good insight rolls.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
What is Lao feeling upon seeing this?
Confused. He's like, what? You can clearly tell he's a bit Firstly, he's confused by the hell you've pulled the hat out, and there is the slightest hint of satisfaction also as you take the gold and put it away.
Well,
he very much thinks he's gotten away with giving you extras.
Nope.
No.
He can worry about that later. Anyway, Drew will I will say that this hat is just like a plain version of their hat, because it is not a secret that they have like 1, multiple versions, and 2, some versions that are slightly altered. For example, they are in fact wearing the hat that has the daisies in it from Seoul today. However, this hat is just like a plain version of it, and they put it on the table and slide it over to Lao.
I'll just kind of looks down at it and squints, and then looks up at Drew and squints a little more.
Drew says nothing.
Now gestures with one hand at the hat, and I don't know why. Is this for anything in particular?
Not necessarily. Though I've never seen you wear a hat, I do assume you know what a gift is.
The confusion on his face deepens, and yes, I know what gifts are, I just don't know what that has to do with this. And yes, I know it's a hat. Soul has a penchant for those. He kind of looks away.
I'm aware. I'm well aware.
Yes, I'm sure you would be. And he kind of glances up at the hat you're wearing. His outline gets a bit softer. Anyhow, I don't know what this is for.
Do I need a reason to give someone a gift?
You need to fucking roll something.
You or me?
It'd be hilarious. No, I need to roll something because it'd be hilarious if you got yes. Excellent.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so that was a 6 on his intelligence.
Oh god.
Looks
Okay.
down at that. Then he looks up at you. Then he kind of looks around the room. He says, "Well, I'm sure I don't know whether this is for Soul or maybe Chifley perhaps, but I can tell them that I can tell them
You
I'm
don't
not sure
need
why you
to
don't just get to them directly, but
you don't need to roll perception. Drew kind of deadpans and don't know Chipley well enough to do this. I met him yesterday. And 2, that's for you.
uh, you don't have to roll insight. Lao just kind of his face just goes blank, and it's very clear that if he were any more form of robotic, he would probably be blue screening right now. He is. There is not a thought behind his eyes at the minute. It's mostly processing.
Drew will give him his minute to process. Because they have also needed a minute to process before in this exact sort of scenario.
He's just staring at the hat on the table. He kind of gently sort of levers open just very slightly. His head cocks to the side slowly and then slowly to the other side. And you can see his pupils get a little bit bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller. And the curls at the back of his head kind of twitch upwards at different intervals. I don't think you've ever seen the man this confused. And he just looks at you, Drew, and says, why?
Again, do I need a reason?
I kind of looks down. I don't. I suppose not. He doesn't. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do with this. He's just gonna kind of he's still very confused, but he is gonna reach out with one hand and gently place it over the top of the hat and bring it over. And he just kind of turns it over to look underneath. And he's just kind of looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
He's still very confused. He puts the book that is in. He puts the notebook that was in one of his hands. He puts it inside of the hat, and puts that gently back onto the coffee table, and just well, thank you for that. I'm sure I'll find something to do with it.
You don't have to wear it. It's just yours now.
His eyes are no longer doing the increase decrease thing, and his curls have stilled, but he is still looks very confused. He looks between you and the hat. It's just I know I don't particularly wear hats, but not quite sure what else you. He's very confused. He doesn't know what to say in this situation. It's pretty obvious, Drew. You look at this man. He's not a man who receives gifts very often.
No, they picked up on that. I had a thought and it went away. Shit.
Oh, it's at you, and I know that feeling so gently.
I had something
Um,
that I wanted Drew to say and it went away. Like,
I
no, I
think.
needed that.
Don't worry, we can hash it out later if we remember or not. Um, yeah, Lau just kind of shakes his head and then kind of plucks at the spiderweb blanket on his lap, um, and looks around. I will say there is no sign of the teapot. Um,
That is
like
not.
that's gone.
You don't have to roll insight. Drew does not give a fuck where that thing is right now.
I do not blame him.
That is
Where's
like
that teapot?
the bottom on the list of concerns.
Hey, where's that teapot rotting in hell?
Wix says that Austin has it. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but
Oh, I'll poke Vic later about that then. Um, okay,
I
cool.
had a nickel for every time. Anyway,
We do not discuss nickels on this server. Anyhow,
I'll make that joke later.
no. Now looks at the hat. He looks at Drew and he doesn't know what to do. He's awkwardly looking around. He doesn't know what to say.
I think after a good few minutes of letting Lao just stew in his confusion, we're not gonna let you do this alone. Whatever it is.
Lau kind of stops looking around. He doesn't look at you, Drew. His gaze kind of fixed itself back onto the hat on the table that you've given him. With notebook inside.
At the very least, I'm not gonna let you do this alone.
And he just gaze kind of slowly slides over to you. He doesn't look you in the eye. He kind of looks just above you, about where your hat's sitting. And just, I don't suppose this is something I can talk you out of, is it?
Not even a little bit.
Just kind of heaves a sigh. And his outline, it's slightly bumpy, but it also lightens a bit. And he does look at you, face to face, eye to eye, Drew. Oh, I suppose I did owe you for your tenacity. It would be bad form of me to complain about your stubbornness now. So, wherever or whatever happens next, you're so set on being there when it happens. Despite how I feel the contrary, I won't turn it away.
If you can invite yourself onto my fun little trip, I can invite myself onto yours.
Now that's a little bit different. I have a duty of care to you as my employee. You have no such duty towards me.
I have a duty
Allow
of care
him-
to you as my friend. And that's not one I'm gonna fail at again.
When you say friend, Lau kind of pauses. He was kind of gearing himself up to have like a bit of a talk, and he just kind of stops the minute you say friend, and his head tilts just like to the side. Then you finish your sentence, and his outline goes a little smudgy again. What? Don't have to answer this, Drew, but what do you mean again?
You can roll insight, but if you do, I'm gonna attempt to roll deception and pray that Drew actually does good on it for once in his life.
Well, you certainly can try because Lao got a whole 9.
Jesus, Drew, please.
Oh. That's my screen suddenly big.
So, I need a third opinion. What happens if we both got a 9?
I feel like in this case, usually it's like
It's like the higher modifier, which would mean that you won, but I don't know enough to know.
I feel like we go with that then, with the higher modifier, but yeah.
Okay, close enough. Good enough answer for me. We're going with the your insight beat my deception because your modifier is bigger.
Okay.
What were we talking about? Oh, I got sidetracked just trying to think. This is why we don't let me think around here.
If you don't think and I don't think, then who's holding the brain cell?
Wick.
That's a dangerous place to leave the brain cell.
What are you trying to insight exactly? On the thing Drew said at the end, or?
Oh yeah, no, he was inciting about basically when you said letting your friend down again.
So
yeah.
you, it's a little hard to tell because again, we did both get 9s.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to tell, and you don't really pick up on it right away. But there is a hint of guilt in the way that Drew says that. And that's all that you get because we both got 9s.
Yeah. Ooh. That Lao's outline will probably get even more slightly smudged. And I don't know if Drew's looking at him, but he's going to sigh, and you're gonna see him kind of slump down until he is laying flat on his back, against this bush of a sofa. And you will see that the cushion he was lying on didn't go down with him; it's still behind him. And you'll see that written on this cushion, or at least crocheted into it, there's a little caricature of a red beetle and the words "Sorry, am I bugging you?" crocheted into it. Under the detail.
Okay.
Look. Sometimes I forget I have things and then I have to put them somewhere, and now they're here. So yeah, he thumps onto his back, looks up at the ceiling, he doesn't look at you as he says this. Oh, I'm not sure if this helps any, but the only one in this room who's let down someone they'd think of as a friend, so I suppose we're in good company then.
Can you repeat that? You cut out a little bit.
He said, basically he said, I suppose Drew's in good company because he's not the only one who's let down a friend.
Ow. Drew doesn't say anything about that. But they are having thinky thoughts.
everybody in this house having thinky thoughts.
um,
Let me roll something, actually.
oh shit.
God, this would be funny if you fuck it up.
Fuck it
But you got
up.
2 14s in a row. He got 2 14s in a row. In a roll? In a row. In a row. Yeah, that's just a flat dex, so...
A dex?
Yeah, because he's lying down, and he's not looking as he's reaching over to the coffee table to pick up the hat with the notebook in it. If he got low, I had a fucking great idea, but no, he didn't. He got 2 14s, so he's fine. As he grabs the rim of the hat, slides it to the edge of the coffee table, kind of drags it over, lifts it over the gap onto his lap, hand in, pulls out the notebook, opens it back up again, and kind of opens it up so it's like flat over, not flat, but he's holding it up above him as he's lying flat on the back. He says, well, so, in terms of what to help me with or what have you, and he rolls his other hand as he keeps talking. I've been thinking about things. I've been thinking about a lot of things, and there's not enough time for me to say for sure whether this is something that should be pursued, but I've been thinking about where that particular item came from.
Okay. What do you need me to do?
Say that again?
Drew said, okay, what do you need me to do?
Cool. Lao doesn't look away from his book. As you see, his thumb starts to write on one of the pages, holding up the book. I don't need you to do anything in particular. I advise you to keep a lookout for a particular individual who I suspect might be involved in leaving this thing here.
Who?
I suppose it would be rather... It's difficult to say what they'll look like when you meet them, or what name they'll use, because they do quite frequently like to change those up. But from what Chifley has told me at the moment, she doesn't seem to be going out and about in many disguises as she usually is at the moment, so you might be lucky, but if you find real kind elven woman, typically in some sort of usually dark cloaked garb, but not necessarily. Sometimes it's best to hide in plain sight, blend in amongst the colours, as it were, because I think a place like Toontown, wearing a dark black cloak or dark blue cloak or anything like that in a colourful town like this is incredibly suspicious, and she's smart enough to know that. What I'm trying to say is, if you meet a real kind elven woman, about 5 and 5'4", 5'5", roughly. I would suggest, if possible, that you keep an eye on her. At least let me know where you saw her.
I can do that.
Now, there's an absent nod. I don't expect you to meet her. And if you do meet her, quite frankly, I don't expect you to be meeting her as her, if that makes sense. She's quite good at pretending to be something else. So the chances are quite low, but that is one thing you can do for me. And well, I suppose the only other thing I can ask of you is know that Now kind of pauses here, stops moving his thumb in the book. He takes a couple of seconds. You know that other person that was with you.
Me, the player, like, you mean Carmenia? I'm asking that, not Drew.
Yes.
Lao's asking Drew if he knows Carmenia.
He's asking Drew if he remembers the other person that was in the party that wasn't Austin or Shifley.
Okay. Drew takes a second to think and Carmenia?
Let's do some things. Cool. Cool. Okay. So it's not as visible this time, but you do see Lao again as you say that name.
Okay.
He yes, that that person that was there in red, the farm that you're working at, simply that's hers. If she was around,
Oh, I figured that out a long time ago.
Lau kind of blinks, puts the book to his chest, looks over at you. Have you now? Have you met her before?
Before yesterday, no. It just turns out that a lot of other people live on the farm or near it who do know her.
Cool. I will say, as he said that, he looked the slightest bit hopeful, and as you said no, that hope just kind of poof.
Ouch.
It's fine.
Owie.
He gives a slow nod, says, yes, Carmenia has attracted quite a few new people to the farm, and this is where I roll again. Oh no. Oh boy. You'd have to roll insight. There's a clear kind of shuffle, nervous shuffle. And his outline starts to wiggle a bit. Like he says that. I know there are quite a few people there that are rather upset with her absence.
Most people I've talked to just wonder when she's coming back. Kinda hard to give them an answer when I didn't know who they were talking about until yesterday.
I'm so sorry. My recording might be picking up my dog snoring.
I mean, I can hear it, so I don't think my recording is picking it up. However, I can in fact hear it.
Oh God, Ollie, please. Enough. Here you go.
He's getting the
Okay.
good sleeps. Something I
He
probably will
is.
not be doing.
He's being damn loud. Holly. Shh. Holly. Holly. Shut up. Oh, fine. He's gone. He's gone. So he's not going to shut up. Okay.
But
Anyway.
anyway.
Anyway. Back to the scene. Al kind of slowly nods and says, "Yes, well, they're not. Uh, I would just greatly appreciate it if she does come around or show up. If you could let me know, and I presume you're going to let anyone else that's around know, or she's going to let anyone else around know when he comes back, presumably.
I'll be sure
But
to let you know before the rest of them. That is to say that I don't like the rest of them, but Andrew kind of like shrugs, like it's not like a bias thing. It's a this guy pays me, so I should probably tell him first thing.
Lau looks over at Drew, and you can very much tell he gets what you mean. Gets boss rights.
Law gets rights just this once.
Lau gets rights because he's paying you for them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, people like Pepper and Tess and Lawrence do not pay Drew to tell them where Carmenia is.
That's giving me a stupid idea, but don't worry about it.
I'll worry about that later.
It's fine. Anyway, yeah, Lau's gonna give you brisk nod, and he's gonna clear his throat, and just well, I appreciate you bring to do that for me. Other than that, I think most everything is just research and handling things, handle some things whilst I'm here. Okay. Okay. Oh boy, cool. So please keep talking. I'm just doing something.
I think as I'll ask what that's about in a minute. As Lao says all this stuff, Drew will stand up from the armchair. What is that 12 for?
That was a history check.
For what?
Now kind of that should be a 13 or 12. He kind of trails off and stares into space just over your shoulder from where you stood up.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of slowly pushes himself. Actually, I'm going to roll a strength save to see if he can push himself up because he's a weenie. Well, that's a 2. He can't do it.
Nope.
Lau goes to push himself up, and then his whole arm just wobbles, and he flops back down, and you just hear a huff of disgust.
Noodle arms. But what was the history for?
He kind of says, I was meant to go to shipment. About, it should have been a few weeks ago. Or he just kind of furrows his brows. I need to chase that up. Because, yes, I need to chase that up and make sure that that's there. And kind of.
Could I roll, like, intelligence or something? Like, well, first I guess I should ask is if this has something to do with the farm. What?
Has nothing to do with the farm.
Okay, then I will retract my statement about rolling intelligence because if it did, I would say that like Drew could roll something because Drew's actually been to the farm. So, but can I roll insight then?
Yeah, you can.
Yahoo!
Um,
I love when I actually get good rolls. That is
that
a
delicious
27.
beautiful nat 20 there. Not only do you realise that when Lao's talking about shipment, he might be kind of looking over your shoulder, but you do see he kind of occasionally glances at you, and you can tell the shipment has something to do with you, at least. Um, Man, there's something I want to give you, but I don't know how because you wouldn't know. Um,
Like, I, the player, wouldn't know, or Drew wouldn't know.
Drew wouldn't know. Um,
I mean, you can, like, write it down and then tell me whenever we stop the recording. I know lots of things Drew doesn't know.
okay, yeah, that's fair. I'll do that when we stop. Um, but yeah, with an at 20, you could tell whatever the shipment is, it's something to do concerning you. Um, and he kind of looks over to some of the plants that are on his like the whole room is surrounded by like
Yeah.
countertops that are bolted or inbuilt or seemingly grown from the walls. They're like floating islands like around the whole room. And his eyes seem to linger on two different plants. One of them is seems to be some sort of like white plant of some sort, like a snowdrop. I'm not sure if Drew would know what these plants are, but I will just say them for the sake of the recording.
Beloved, I don't even know what those plants are.
It's fine. I will post a picture of what they look like.
Yeet.
So yeah, like there's one little plant pot of snowdrops, and his eyes kind of drift over to another pot that is empty, but seems to have something like seems to have mulch and stuff, and it's a little dry because it has been a while since anything was put in there. It seems to have been pre-prepped for something. So whatever is being shipped over is probably some kind of plant. Maybe something that's going to go in that pot.
Okay. I will put that in my back pocket for whenever we end the recording. Um, but I think with that, I don't have anything else unless you
Me,
do.
me, my brain is telling me there is something, but I cannot think of it for the life of me.
Uh, we can figure it out if you remember after the recording, but I think they'll just sort of wrap up and
Yeah.
Drew will leave. But not without telling Lao that he'll be back in a couple days because one, he needs insights from Chipley on how Lao is doing, and two, he's gonna check in on Lao because he does not trust Lao to tell him the truth about how he's feeling. So
Man, on one hand, how dare you? On the other hand, yeah.
just dumb, but not that dumb.
I know what I was going to do now.
Oh yeah.
So when Drew gets up and goes to like leave,
Yeah.
he's gonna hear him say, just a moment, hang on, just a moment. I could probably walk you to the door at least. And you hear Lau kind of rummaging underneath his blanket. This is probably going to happen as you like turn around to leave the room, like you're near the front door to go out.
Yeah.
You hear him rummaging under his blanket, and then you hear something come out of hammer space and a pause. What, what the actual fuck is this? As Lau slams something into the floor.
Can I see whatever it is?
Um,
Concern?
yeah. If you turn around or look at what Lau is holding, Lau is
Yeah.
still lying like back along this sofa, slams in one of his hands in a very tight grip. He's looking at this thing wide-eyed. There is what appears to be long staff of spongy black wood. And you can roll a perception or an insight on that if you want. Actually, no, fuck it. You got good insight. I can use your nat 20 for this.
Yeah.
You look at this piece of wood.
Yeah.
This thing has this has rank vibes. This thing reeks of just evil. This thing is full of malice. Whatever the fuck this piece of wood is. And I was holding it and staring at it, and he's just pulled it out of his hammer space, and he's looking at it like he's never fucking seen it before in his life.
I both me and Drew now are like that gif that Wick posted of the processing, the like floating wheel of trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. I think that would be a funny place to end it.
I feel like if Drew's just gonna stand there processing, Lao's slowly gonna look back at Drew, still very wide-eyed.
Yeah.
On top of his blanket, and slowly slide this long staff back down onto the blanket until it's completely gone. Drops the blanket over his lap. Her hands up to his beak and just says, "I'll find out what that is later." And
you don't have to roll insight. You can read the look on Drew's face that very much says that as soon as they possibly physically can, they are telling both Austin and Chipley about the weird evil stick you have in your hammer space.
Nice stick you got there. It's shame if something happened to it.
Yeah, you are not free from getting tattled on.
Snitch.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't have evil sticks. But with that,
Let the man have this one thing.
What?
I said, let the man have this one thing.
No.
It's a really cool stick.
No.
Anyway, it's a good place to end it, I think.
Yeah, with an evil stick. Thank you everyone for listening, both present and in the future, and thank you, Du, for playing. This was good.
Playing with me, JayJay, you were also good, and my brain was very half empty this whole time.
I missed getting to bully Lao.
Oh, I missed having Lao get bullied. I love watching that part. It's the best. It's my favorite part of the day.
But yes, thank you everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.